What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review. And man, regionals just finished in the Americas, and it was a crazy regionals. You can see just by the scores to finish out the day. It was a really close finish by the end. Robinsongz winning with 32 points, tying Milk at 32 points, but Robinsongz had better tiebreakers. And then Spencer at 31 points. So close to the end. You know, a few people like Ego and Black Sheep not having great days, but then even Dank Memes, Dish Soap, So Bio, really close by. So it was a very close day. And the other crazy thing is look at Robin's scores. He started off the day pretty bad, 6-5-6, but then closed it out with a 1-2-2 to actually win the tournament. So I felt like I had to VOD review Robin. We actually VOD reviewed him yesterday, which was kind of, interesting, maybe a little prophetic, that we VOD reviewed Robin and then he won the next day. So I'm, not to say that there's that I know who the best player in the world is. I mean, obviously it's Dish Soap and he's gonna win Worlds, but that's fine, or maybe it's Robin. Maybe Robin's gonna win Worlds, honestly, after a really cool performance. Also, I did talk about this a little bit in the last VOD, but I wasn't completely confident on the numbers. Everybody in this lobby is going to Worlds. So, if your favorite players in this lobby, if you really like Dish Soap, if you really like Ego Illusions, if you really like Black Sheep, and you want those players, you want to see them more, we got Worlds in literally a week from like Friday, the previous Friday that just came. So a few more days until that. And then obviously after Worlds, they'll reveal the new TFT set. So, I am so hyped. But right now, let's talk about the current TFT set and talk about Robin's crazy win. So we start off, we basically have to hold everything here. So this is our position here, and we have to think about what we want to do from this position. Item wise, we have a few possibilities as far as item slams. There's BT. You're never really going to make Gunblade in this spot, so you're either making Spark or BT in this spot, or nothing. You could make nothing. We have, and Robin is clearly kind of like angling a little bit in the units that he's holding. He's holding onto the Zoe, he's holding onto the Poppy. There's a very strong reroll line that exists now, which is our reroll. We also have the Ziggs too, so like maybe we could play towards something like that. It's a possibility. But I do think like quite clearly I see a line shining through here, and that is our reroll looks really solid, and both Called Shot and Keepers are pretty mediocre augments. We have a Pandora's Bench, and we already have a Ziggs too. So Robin immediately, one thing he does here, actually, I love this. He does a quick scout, and then he says, you know what? I have Pandora's here. I see Spencer's spot here. Spencer has a Zoe too and an Ahri. Spencer hasn't actually picked an augment yet, and his items aren't amazing to actually play Ahri from this spot. He's got, say, like Guard Breaker, but then he has Tier Open, and like Guard Breaker's fine, but it's not like amazing. So you know what? I'm going to take an Econ Augment here. He's also, there are a lot of people who want to potentially angle towards this comp. It's really, that's the scary thing about this spot, is that this is one of the strongest reroll lines in the game right now. So, he scouts Spencer. Spencer's holding those units on board. He scouts Black Sheep. Black Sheep also has those units on his board. And look at this. Let me pull my head down here. He calls Ahri because he sees no one else is actually committed yet at this point. And so he calls Ahri, grabs Pandora's Bench, and says, you know what? I'm committing to it. I really like this from Robin. He scouted to make sure that there was nobody who like was really like already all in on the line. If he had scouted, say Spencer in the spot, and Spencer had already taken Pandora's Bench or had taken some kind of like Scholar's augment, he would have easily just said, you know what, I need to play a different line. And I was just actually listening to Frodan's stream, who was doing like a post-game interview with Robin. And one of the things that Robin was talking about in his interview that like really helped like level up his gameplay is line selection, like knowing when to play what line. It's one of the most important skills in TFT. It's like knowing, okay, like this is a really good spot for me to play this Zoe Ahri comp versus, when it's a really good spot to play something else. He has the augment for it, and he knows that, he has a better spot than almost anyone else. He's doing still a lot of scouting here, but he sees, this person here took this combat advantages augment. Their items are like fine for it, but, certainly Black Sheep does not want to play contested R reroll, especially when Robin has this Econ augment. This is something really important to know about reroll. And if like you're new to the game and you haven't gotten a lot of reps playing contested reroll, when you are playing contested reroll, if the person who is contesting you has an Econ augment, it's really hard for you to play the game, because Robin is going to be very quickly rerolling. Imagine one of these rolls into like a Lilia next round. Okay, we get infinite ashes. We get if he was crazy, he says, you know what, I'm going to pivot into Ash reroll, but I mean, I don't know about that in this spot. But yeah, like if this one of these rerolls into a Lily really quickly, then suddenly that's 3 Lilies out of the pool. If the next one rolls into Zoe, then suddenly that's 3 Zoes out of the pool. It's very similar to if somebody has like a prismatic ticket augment. it's really tough for you to contest that player because they're going to hit so many more copies of the units before you are, which just, decreases your chance of hitting those units, which means without an econ augment, without an augment that helps you reroll, it just becomes really difficult for you to actually get to the board. Really want to pick up tier here, I would imagine, from Robin. Finishes out that Shojin that we have with the Spark here. This was also smart from Robin. He did not slam a single item this stage, even though Spark is a really, really solid slam here. He doesn't want to win these fights because he wants to be able to greed for really, really good, items in this spot here. Ends up getting a Poppy 2, which is, I guess whatever, not the end of the world. And still gets to make 20 gold here, which is pretty nice. And yeah, now he has the Shojin. He has the Spark as well. But once again, we're on a 3-loss streak here. We'd love to just keep a 5-loss in this spot here. But yeah, you'll see a few people playing the opener. But another thing to talk about is like, if this was solo queue, if Ron was playing a game in like gold, honestly, one of these players who's holding these units would probably contest him. And that's just one of the nice things about playing in tournaments when all the people in your lobby are strong players. They are not just going to randomly grief their game to contest you. Even if, even if they would like to play this comp, they can't afford, especially this is the final game that we're going into. They cannot afford to just grief their placement randomly for a lot of these players, especially because, going into this game, Spencer, Milk, and Dishsoap were above Robin. So all of those players, as long as they outplace those other players, they end up winning the lobby. Also, really, really nice play from Robin here. I think, actually, as long as he loses, actually, this is actually a really rough play from Robin. He actually greeted hard and ended up getting griefed here. He got outsacked. Wow. This is actually, I didn't know this. I didn't watch Robin's POV, but this was actually a really, really consequential mess up here. He played the issue was he played those double Jaces and they didn't end up locking in the Warwick. They ended up just walking forward based on the enemy's positioning. And also the Jaces were just solid units. That was actually really, really rough. Also, man, just like that Akali that we rotated into, just such a weak unit. I feel like it's just so easy, but okay. Not the end of the world. We still have this econ augment, which is the nice thing. If we didn't have econ augment here Pandora's kind of like turns econ into more econ, but if we didn't have the Pandoras here, we'd actually feel really, really bad. Just because, you'd be in a bad spot. But okay, we're gonna roll a little bit here. It's always awkward in spots like this, rolling a little bit, because obviously you want to pick up 2 stars, but you're also a little bit bench locked. And we are going to just start making items for Ahri. The Shojin's going to come down. The BT is going to get slammed here, which is actually a kind of a crazy slam from Robin, but I think I like it. It's a solid item onto Poppy. She does an okay amount of damage, and it's a really good way to get rid of this sword when sword is like kind of a rough component to quote unquote kill in this comp. Partial Ascension, Exiles, Blistering. I imagine it's just Exiles here. You're rolling for 3-star units. They have a lot of HP. This helps scale up their HP even further. Maybe you could go for something like Blistering Strikes. Ooh, that is a Zoe 3, which is really nice to have already. But yeah, I imagine it's Exiles here. I haven't statistics checked. Yeah, Robin, I'm sure, has the team in the Explorer right now, and he's just making sure that he's taking the best possible augment here. And yeah, it does look like it is Exiles there, which, makes a lot of sense. So yeah, the upside to the spot is that we have the Zoe 3 already. We have a lot of poppies, actually. Here we have 7 poppies. So we're hitting pretty quickly. This is also interesting. He scouts over Black Sheep there. Black Sheep's still holding on to this opener. Doesn't, once again, probably won't end up actually like playing Ahri, just because it's going to be really, really hard for him to hit. But, still. Yeah, there's actually kind of an interesting... It's actually kind of an interesting spot here because we have Zoe 3 and we have Ahri 1. We have the remover. We can just move items over to Zoe. The problem is then we end up kind of like losing that remover down the line. But it's probably still correct to just end up moving items over. He's actually gonna roll a bit. I don't hate it. I don't actually hate rolling here. And yeah, he is now going to move the items over to Zoe. But yeah, this is Black Sheep's spot. It really does look like Black Sheep is actually contesting here. He's got 7 Zoes. So this is a contested Ahri reroll game. Man, we were watching different POVs a lot this game. I did not realize that this was a contested Zoe reroll game. This game is actually crazy. The upside, though, is this guy only has 3 Zoes. Robin's taken so many out of the pool. And Black Sheep did end up taking misconnections, which helps him to some degree hit, but once again, it's so much further than everything else in this spot here. What is he looking at here? Death Cap or Archangels? He's taking tier here. That would have to be, or it could be Shiv, I guess, is the idea. I'm curious to see what he slams here, because honestly, I'm not 100% sure what priority he has on all of these items here. Pick up another Poppy, which is really nice. We do kind of have to roll here. Boom, there's Lilia 3. That helps unlock so much bench space for us. I guess it doesn't really matter. We can still keep rolling the Zoe if we have to. But yeah, what is it? Shiv? Okay. Yeah, Shiv is MR Tread. Quite important in this comp. And it's also like Bow. I guess Bow can be like Nashers and stuff. But it's not the most insane component of all time, and keeping this rod open is pretty nice. Rod can be a lot of different things here. So yeah, just guaranteeing this shred I think makes a lot of sense in this spot. So yeah, I mean, the board is looking good at this point. Now we have the Lily 3 and the Zoe 3, so we have that front line kind of finish. We do end up hitting Poppy here. Oh my god, and we get another Ahri here. Ooh, and a Neela 2 we actually pick up there, which is really nice, just being able to reroll 2 stars. He just wants something to put on this board. Ideally, it's normally Hecarim. This guy's got Poppy 3, but we don't really care because we also have Poppy 3. It's also another BT slam. So yeah, and he also didn't put in a last unit here. Like this Robin, dude, I think Robin being in final lobby, like I think this is some nerves kicking in, honestly. It's kind of crazy, but these are like really small things that Robin's just like kind of flubbing here just because he's like, I'm in final lobby. Like this is really, really, really scary. That's double Ahri from the reroll though. So that is really, really nice. We are getting there. Still a few off, but I mean, this many Ahris this quickly is fantastic for us. He's going to get the guaranteed remover here. He'll move items once he has Ahri 3, but you know, for now he can just chill. Another Kali's, you know, whatever at this point. And he does have to kind of decide on what frontline items he wants to make in this spot, or just items in general that he wants to make in this spot here. I mean, it's never going to be Gwinsu's. The problem is, what do you do with this extra bow here? Because you could go something like Archangel's Gargoyle, but then, you know, like you're left with this bow open. Like, what are you planning on doing with this bow? I don't know. I mean, maybe you do just make Archangel's Gargoyle and then you turn bow into something like a red buff maybe down the line. I guess we'll see. But I'm curious actually. He's thinking, ooh, the Titans, Poppy, Archangel's Titans. Man, okay. I have to look at Poppy items here because these are some really interesting slams. It's not like we have Poppy Hero Augment here. So let's just look at Poppy 3, throw in an Ahri, a Zoe, and a Lilia here, and then go to items. Because I'm really curious to see if, and I want to look at Poppy items specifically. Yeah, BT, not amazing. Where's Titans? Titans also not amazing, but I kind of love this from Robin. This is something that I think so many people would be kind of like hesitant to do here is just slam these items that are suboptimal. This is something that I talked about either in the last Robin, I think in the last Robin VOD, is just Robin is a player who is not afraid to slam suboptimal items if they make his future items a lot better. And he gets to make these items. The nice thing about these slams is that he uses the bow for a frontline component, so now he can use this cloak for another frontline component, which is fantastic. Spellblade's Raid Boss and Comet Caster. I have to imagine it's just Comet Caster here. But I mean, I know Spellblades is quite good in this comp. I mean, you can just do an Augments check here. Spellblades versus Comet. I mean, Spellblades actually looks quite good. Comet Caster. I mean, I'm sure Robin's going to be doing this as well. And then what is it? Raid Boss. I mean, Raid Boss probably isn't. Yeah, it's not great. I mean, the stats say it's Comet Caster. The stats do say that Spellblades and Comet Caster are a bit close. So if he feels like he needs more damage, he could actually opt to go Spellblades in this spot. So we'll see. He does already have he does already have the shield coming from this exile. So yeah, he's looking at Spellblades here. Magic Wand, I mean, you don't really want to slam a Spark here. So yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense. So okay, this is going to be a setup. He obviously got the 4 Bastion in because this is just generically what you play with the board. Ooh, that is a call from Robin. Holy, yeah, moving items to Ahri 2 from Zoe 3. This Ahri unit is kind of a monster though. I wouldn't be that surprised, especially after the buffs to Ahri. I mean, how much damage did Ahri do this fight? Almost 4k. I mean, it's not bad. It's not, I'm actually, I mean, according to Robin, this is correct. And I mean, Robin is going to Worlds and 1 Regionals, so I have to, you know, I have to believe him on this. Ends up making another Zillion too, so holy, man. He's rolling 3 2-star 2 costs, man. That is insane. And I'm curious, actually. I don't know if we looked at Black Sheep's spot, but I'm wondering where he's at. Oh, wait, we did just scout him. Oh, it's so hard to go back on this this thingy that I'm using here. Okay, I actually went back pretty decently. Okay, so he goes Dank Memes, and then he scouts Black Sheep. So let's just, we can do quick pauses the second he goes over to Dank Memes. Can I do it? Can I do it? Oh, okay, I did. I'm a beast. Only 4 Ahris. This is great news. He's got the double dupes, but he doesn't want to use the dupes until he's close to Ahri 3. He needs to use these dupes to actually hit Ahri, and he's so far off econ-wise, right? He's only got 20 gold here, whereas, you know, like, look at Robin's gold. He's actually doing quite well, 44 gold. This is really, really, really good spot-wise for Robin. He's quite pleased about being in this position, and yeah, I mean, this is the problem for Black Sheep. When you do contest someone with an econ augment, this is exactly what I was talking about. Pandora's is just going to accelerate Robin's ability to hit all of these 3-stars by so much that what can Black Sheep actually do in this spot? Like, nothing, really. And Robin just gets to coast, start pushing levels. Robin doesn't have to roll anymore. Like, he's one off, essentially, Ahri once he hits the rest of the stuff. So he's got this cloak open here. I mean, I guess there's adaptive if he wants it, or maybe he just wants something else. I guess we'll see. I mean, adaptive seems solid. Declaw, like is something that you could look at, but didn't look like there was an insane amount of AP in this lobby. There's another Ahri, which is huge. So now we're one off. Now he no longer needs to roll these 2-star 2 costs. Yeah, he can just roll the 1-stars. And yeah, I think this makes perfect sense. Just level, you don't actually need to roll it down here. You can just look to push levels. You can roll maybe a little bit for charm, but you don't need to go for other 3-stars in this spot, and you don't even need to go for RE3. Your Pandora's Bench will naturally hit to your RE3, so what would be much better for you to do is use your gold, try to push levels, and get the 4 costs that really matter in this spot. Rise and Taric are really nice fit on this board. You can fit Portal down the line. You can fit 4 Scholar. Like there's a lot that you can cap this comp out with later. And hey, I mean you get a random Nunu too, not bad. But yeah, I think this is perfect from Robin, especially because he knows, we're getting close though. That's 6 Ahris, but 0 gold. Look at Black Sheep. He's 0 gold here, so we can't pick up that last Ahri. If he finds one Ahri is 3 Ahris, essentially in Black Sheep's spot, because if he hits an Ahri, then he's gonna double duplicate and have Ahri3. Even worst case that does happen, there's still enough Ahris in the pool for both players to hit. It's like a little bit enough. All right, it's 25. It's actually a decent bit. So there's enough for both players to hit, not necessarily comfortably, but almost comfortably. But I think this makes perfect sense in this spot here. Like you need to push levels here. You need to pick up Rise. You need to pick up Taric and play for that max cap for Scholar setup, which is just such a big spike for this board. And Rise is such a nice duo carry on the board down the line. But okay, takes item here. He's got the JG, and there's the RE3. That's huge. JG not amazing, but you can live with it. There's the Taric, there's the Hecarim. Still needs to find his other Arcana, but oh yeah, this is so smart. Move the JG over, move the Static Shiv to Zoe, and yeah, I think this is perfect. And he plays 6 Bastion on his board, which is a nice little. I wonder how long he's actually gonna play 6 Bastion. I haven't seen what the my assumption was that people like played the kind of like old version, but I mean maybe it's possible that Robin thinks this is just the best version of the board. 6 Bastion, just play for an insanely tanky setup. We'll see if he ends up getting the opportunity to pick up stuff like Rise, if he wants to hold on to it and play for 4 and 4, or if he wants to play for the 6-2 setup, because I mean his board has a lot of damage on it with Spellblades. Maybe he thinks, with this setup, do I even really need 4? I mean, this is certainly what we're playing for now. I'm curious to see what he plays when he kind of gets the opportunity to play whatever. But you can see 42 HP, Black Sheep going down in terms of HP. Black Sheep, it's just going to be a hard game to play for him because it's going to take, he's going to be solo econ. Black Sheep can never actually get to the level 8 that Robin's at here. Robin hit the board and he's level 8. That's why he's so strong. Black Sheep can never get to that point. He's never going to hit the board and be able to push level 8. He can maybe just hit the board, but then he's just going to eke out like a 5th or something. So it just goes to show, like this is the power of playing with an econ augment like this when you're playing, contested. And oh my god, Black Sheep never found that 7th Ahri, actually. Very tragic for him. But I mean, it makes sense. There's 9 Ahris out of the pool, and Robin had a lot out earlier because of his augment. So this is an easy dub for Robin. Kills off Black Sheep there. He goes 7th. I mean, rest in peace. But he was just going for something crazy here because I think he was in a pretty bad spot going into this final game. Item-wise here, we still don't have Heal Cut, right? There's a Sunfire sitting on this board, so I have to imagine you're just going to pick up the Sunfire, throw it onto Lilia, and feel pretty good about that. There's another Shen here. Still no Rise. I really want to see what happens when we get this Rise. And Robin playing, this is classic Robin, like tempo TFT. He is not that, I mean, the board is good, right? The board is good, but the board's not so good that we're like not going to roll for charm here. We need to preserve HP still here, especially because Robin looks at the lobby and he says, okay, Dish Soap, Milk, and Spencer were higher than me. I have to outplace those 3 people to end up winning the tourney, and I think Spencer he has to outplace by 2 placements, I believe, because Spencer has tiebreaker. But Dish Soap's dead now, and he looks, Milk is really low now, and Spencer's really low as well. All he has to do is save enough HP to actually survive here. Also ends up getting a Mordekaiser too, which is hilarious. I mean, is he even gonna reroll that? Like, I assume you have to wait. I mean, yeah, there was someone in this lobby who was looking for Mordekaiser 3, so he actually ratted it for a few rounds, and then wow. I mean, I think I'm trying to remember who was actually playing that line, but that, I mean, he's playing, yeah, this is Milk. This is the person that he absolutely has to play for. He wants to get placements from. The second that he sees that Milk is out of gold, he then sells the Mordekaiser, but he Giga Rats the Mordekaiser and gets rewarded for it. Milk dies, Spencer dies here, and now all Robin needs in this spot to win the tournament, and, I mean, who's to say if he won the tournament or not, is to get 1 placement higher here. He needs a top 2 to win, because if he goes 3rd here, he's tied with Spencer, and then he loses tiebreaker. So item here, I imagine it's just Shojin. Throw it onto Zoe, and you feel good about that. There's the Tarek too. We're gonna stick on this board. It looks like, yeah, he's just gonna stick on this board forever. Also, I don't know if he's seen a single rise yet. Tailors for the suspicious trench coat here, really nice. He doesn't actually use the little item remover trick to remove an item. The problem is just that then you would have to kind of like leave an item on bench, which I'm not sure that he wants to. We fight Clone here, which is quite good. Though these are scary boards. This is the top 3 of the America's tournament. These are the best players in our region. They are all put together really strong boards. So we're fighting a very strong Jinx board and then Ego's board. I can't remember exactly what Ego's playing, but yeah, we'll take this minor charm here. It's kind of whatever. We'd really like solid combat there. It's actually pretty bad. Ooh, this is an interesting change up. He moves the items off Poppy at this point and over to Lilia. He says, you know what? I need I just want my Zoe to be casting in these matchups. I want damage. This spot looks kind of scary because Seraphine could potentially end up ulting corner, though for a while it looks like she's stuck on the rest of our board. This Ascension comes through. Yeah. Yeah, this is a rough loss. We go down to Dangmemes here and drop down to 16 HP. It's so close here. We need just solid combat charm. We go 3 charms in a row without a solid combat charm. I mean, 4 charms. We finally get Scrappy here, which is decent, especially if we can tailor it onto Poppy here. He also picks up the Diana to throw onto the board, makes sure that goes onto Diana here. But yeah, I mean, scary. And we even got Even Trout onto Poppy, which is, I mean, I guess it's fine. She'll do a little bit of physical damage, but it's not, you definitely prefer a real tank at him. We fight Ego here again, who looks like just a really easy matchup for us. It's pretty nice that that Zoe MR shreds down giant tanks like this, just because it makes it so much easier for us to like actually kill that mega tank here. And then yeah, at this point, we're just looking for one more solid item. Pick up BT as just a decent frontline item for the Poppy here, and we just need a solid charm here with 16 HP. So we just have to make sure that we win this next fight, or at least don't lose it by as much as Ego loses his fight here. We pick up that really solid charm that gives the chill, sunder, everything. Ego 7 HP. So if we both lose, then we are guaranteed a top 2 here. We fight Clone, which is huge, and we are scouting just to make sure, because this is the board that we lost to last time. It's decently likely, even though this is a clone, that we're going to still lose to this this time. So we have to make sure that Ego's losing. But Robin goes for a scout here and sees, look at this. Ego got stomped here. We got stomped by more, but we had more HP. So it's a top 2 for Robin and a win in the tournament. I don't know. I mean, it was fun to VOD review, obviously, like the final game of the tournament. That's always climactic. And this is also just, I mean, I would say one of, if not the strongest reroll comp in the meta. And this was a contested Ahri reroll game from Robin, and I feel like he played it really well. I love that he slammed these just like really kind of like off meta, the Titans and the BT onto the Poppy, man, just saying, you know what, I don't care about having like BIS everything. What I really want is just preserve HP, outplace the people I need to outplace, grab a top 2, and that was enough to win the tourney. So a really nice game from Robin. Congrats to him on winning the tourney. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch. I'll leave the links down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.